Existence of a trans day of visibility implies the existence of a trans day of invisibility. And I just want to know, where the fuck are you guys getting that technology?
Well, hey there, Indy, turn your dial. Dapper Don's here to make you smile with a co-host sharp and riff so true. We've got the laughs, the rants, the view. What's going on? Oh, what's the word? Indy's the city where we'll be heard. From Monument Circle to Broad Ripple on. What's going on with Dapper Don? So grab your coffee, Hoosiers, and let's get to it. 'Cause we're in the house!
What's going on? It's Dapper Don, and I'm excited to welcome you all back. It is incredibly hard to love yourself. It's hard to even wake up and look in the mirror and say, yeah, I'm awesome. I'm happy where I am. I like me. And that's only one aspect of self love. But why is that? Is it because a lot of us are cursed with people in our lives who have a weird compulsion to pick out every flaw, no matter how small? Does the internet and its constant barrage of, you need to be skinny, you need some meat on your bones, you gotta be on your own, you're stupid if you don't live with your parents, you gotta be well groomed. Nah, fuck that. Being well groomed is gay. You gotta be submissive. No way feminism, you gotta be independent. Have anything to do with it? Or does it just come down to something naturally within us that keeps us from truly embracing who we are? Theories abound, but unfortunately, we have no conclusive answers. Either way, if you think it's hard to love yourself now, imagine if you had to completely reinvent yourself and start all over in a new skin. And this new skin actually increased the level of external and internal oppression that you faced. This is a journey that I know a lot of you listening are on, and even if you're not on this particular journey, it's still important to hear the experiences of someone who is, which is why I felt it prudent to bring on someone who not only had to reconstruct their entire identity, but who's actually thriving. He's a musician, he has a pretty sizable fan base on TikTok, and he has a confidence about him that you wouldn't believe. Everyone, welcome Mr. Miss, or Zen as he's sometimes called, to the show. Say hi to the people, Butto.
Hello. Hello. Hi.
Yes, so why don't you give a quick rundown of who you are, what you do, etc., etc.?
Fuck. I wouldn't really know how to describe myself. I kind of just view me as Zen. I do what I want to do. I am a trans man, but I kind of just do what I feel called to do. Because even though I make music, yeah, it's like the only thing I do or my only passion.
Right, right. And what are some of your other passions? Just a few of them, if you don't mind.
I would say drawing. I'm an artist. I've been drawing ever since I was in kindergarten. And I would also say playing some of the instruments. And I might not be the best at them, but I do it.
Right, right. So yeah, I suppose we should just get into the questions here. So tell me about your early life. Specifically, what led you to realizing who you wanted to be, or did you kind of always feel this way?
I would say I've technically always felt this way. I would say for how I would describe my childhood, I would say I viewed everything third person because I didn't know who I was for real, but I just like kind of did what everyone expected out of me and just stayed with that. Okay, well, this isn't me, but whatever. But that not knowing myself really like disturbed my soul. So I said, fuck it. If I'm trans, okay, cool. Now I am. And I just kind of gauged myself from there.
Okay, so you would say that your life was kind of like it was like a video game where you were watching yourself
Yeah.
do things, but you weren't actually doing them.
Yeah, very much like, this is what is expected out of me. They're only giving me 2 choices. I can't really do anything else, so, okay, that's
Okay,
really it.
right. Now kind of explain that to me. Like, let's just say a typical day, baby Zen or whatever, whenever you realized that you were experiencing this, what was a typical day in the life like for you before you kind of found out who you were? What was that day like?
First thing, wake up, dread. I would dread the day because it was like I had to put on this performance. I was in this role I didn't know how to get out of. And so it was just like playing my part. Okay, get up, do my hair, look the way I guess people expect out of me. And what was very consistent, I would often look at myself in the mirror and I would just stare. And it would feel like I was looking at the void because I did not know who was looking at me, but it was because like I didn't even know like whose eyes are these? You know, it's like I didn't even know who the fuck I was. And so it's just, yeah, it just, I don't know how to describe it other than just, I have to fill this role even if I fucking hate it.
So, would you describe that as body dysmorphia, just kind of not even feeling like you belong in the body that you've inhabited?
I wouldn't say that because it went further than just my body. It was like, what do I like? What are the things I want to be? You know, it was like something very like guttural. It was palpable how much I just didn't know who I was.
Okay. And how much were you allowed to explore who you were?
Back when I was a kid, I honestly would say, like, up until, like, my teens a little bit, not so much, really, but then again, like, I didn't really even, like, know where to start, and so I kinda just did what was expected out of me.
Okay. And what was finally the moment where you were just like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm about to be who I fucking am. And I don't care what anybody thinks because they're not me. They're not looking in the mirror and seeing what I see.
Like, how did I get to that point? I was tired of being miserable. That's really it. I was so tired of like not knowing who I was. It was like, you know what? This is like my one and only fucking life for all I know. I'm not going to waste it caring about what other people think because it really is like at the end of the day, you don't know what I'm going through. Had you be in my shoes, you would like look at yourself being like, well, you shouldn't do this and da 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 da. You would view it as like cruel because it's like, there's just so much pain. You don't even understand why I'm doing what I'm doing. I want to be free. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Free as a bird.
Yes. Yes. Real shit.
Tell me, did you have to unlearn any stereotypes in order to be comfortable transitioning?
Yeah. Many, many of them.
For the sake of time, why don't you go ahead and list off a few? Because I know that there are millions.
Yeah, it's fuck. I guess just realizing like, okay, I'm a man. Men come in many shapes and sizes and they act all different types of ways. And at the end of the day, no one knows what like genitalia I really have. So it's like, it doesn't even matter. Okay. The body is like, I don't even give a fuck about that. I'm simply man enough because that's simply it.
I'm assuming I mean, come on, you're black. You've had people try to masculinity check you all the time, haven't you?
Very, very much so. I've had moments where, like, I feel like I was pretty, like, black man presenting enough, and I saw people be like, "Be a fucking boy. God, you're so feminine, this and that." It's like, you know what? I'm not gonna satisfy anyone. Clearly, clearly.
You gotta love that "who's the men" shit that's all over TikTok.
I love it so bad. Wow, so good.
Well, tell me, do you ever still run into that kind of I think it's called, I call it transmisandry, but do you ever run into that kind of attitude online still?
Sometimes not as often, I feel like, but I feel like kind of the videos I make, people they can't like come at me being like that, or they like will get their shit checked.
Mm,
But I would say I don't encounter it often anymore.
that's good. I mean, rightly so. If you can type it, you can deal with being roasted for it.
I'm saying.
How did you find confidence in your new self? Like the first day that you decided that this is me, what was the things you did to gain confidence? Because I imagine that there were a lot of there was a lot of opposition to this.
Yeah, quite the lot. It was really just my happiness. One thing I've realized I could not focus on like external things. It was just like as long as I'm happy, if I have fun exploring myself, because exploring myself, it's turned out to be very fucking fun. Very fun. But it's like at the end of the day, my happiness is the only thing I give a fuck about.
We're talking about exploring yourself in the sense of learning who you are, not turning on the rose. Although I don't know, that might have been involved too. I don't know. So my question then to you is, do you think people actually do find themselves or do they have to build themselves?
I think that really depends because it all stems from like childhood. Some people like that confidence in them is just like kind of built there from the start. And so like they just know who they are. But some people it's like they kind of pretend and they don't even realize it. It very much is like I don't, it really could be either or. I'm sorry. I feel like I'm just like evading things. I'm not. I view things from very different perspectives a little bit.
Well, I mean, that's what this show is. And I'm glad that you kind of said that, which brings me to another question. How much of our identity do you think are stuff that's just kind of thrown at us? And how much of it do we select?
I would say like a good chunk is just like thrown and people just take it. Because, like, I realized one thing people really focus on, they want to be enough. They're like, "This makes me man enough. This makes me woman enough." And it's like, you don't need to put on this performance. You don't need to, like, the only way to be a valid woman is to do this. It's like, you make up your womanhood. You make up your manhood. But some people, they don't even realize some of the things they think they want. It's like, you want that because you think that makes you enough. Validation. You feel like it's your own when when it's not for real. You don't know if it is or if it isn't, you know?
Hmm. And, I've seen this with a lot of people is that when they really look down and think deeply, when they really sit down and think about their life, they start coming up with this person said this and this person did this and that person did that. But never was it any decision that they made. Never was it any of them just
Yeah.
walking out and just deciding, I'm gonna be this and this is me. Fuck it.
Exactly. Yeah. That's why, like, I very much said, like, it felt like a role because it essentially it is a role. When you come out the womb, they're like, "You're this and that, because you're this, you have to do this and that and that and that and that," and they forget, like, you're a person. You're a human. This is your life. What you wanna do, that's what you wanna do.
And we don't ask to be here. But the very
Exactly.
fact, like, the least we could do is have control over the damn experience.
I'm saying, fuck, real shit, bro, real shit.
But yeah, now I wanna dive deeper here and just talk a little bit about your transition. I won't go too in depth here, but what was your experience in transitioning like? What was the, kind of the physical experience of transitioning?
I would say I was very insecure. Very, very insecure. I hated being outside. I hated it so badly. Fuck. Damn. Sorry. It really was not the enjoyable experience. Like, I love being trans, but the beginning of it, it was rough. It was fucking rough. I'm so lucky that, like, my friends, like, back in school, they were very supportive of me. But, like, outside of them, I was very self-conscious. It was really hard to, like, be me and be confident.
Right, right, and I definitely feel that. I've heard similar experiences. I have a few female to male transgender friends, and they have said that it is extremely hard because it's like it's so much of an adjustment, and, I know you've talked about being on T before. What was that experience like, and how did it shape kinda how you see yourself now?
I think it was rather courageous of myself because I'm not on testosterone anymore. Not because like I'm not a trans guy anymore. I got the things I wanted from T. I'm good. But it was beautiful. I feel like starting T was very beautiful. I remember the night I did it. I was calling on my girls, on my bitches, and my first testosterone shop did it on call, recorded it. It was so amazing. I loved it.
So, what was the feeling after that first dosage of it? Was there any kind of pain, any funny feeling, or was it just kind of going about your day?
I would say a lot of adrenaline I felt, but it was because like it was like finally, like, I'm on day 1, and then it's gonna be day 2, day 3, day 4, and, like, it's just gonna get better.
Okay. So it was more like a feeling of relief then
Yes.
for you.
Yes.
Okay.
Positively.
Did being on T change how you understood what it meant to be a man, or did you get that definition from elsewhere?
I'm not gonna lie, I guess I never really thought about that because I've 'cause it really is like I had to give the validation to myself, and I know I do things rather differently, so I just looked at everything like, "You know what? I'm a man, I'm man enough. I don't give a shit what these niggas think, what makes me more of a man, what makes me less. I'm doing it, I'm doing it."
Right. Right. And I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, that's probably the most manly thing you can do is just decide, you know what? I'm not going to let another man decide what type of man I'm going to be. That's that gay shit.
That's real gay, and I'm not about that. Never about that.
All right. Well, I kind of want to get into this because I think we dipped into it earlier, but I just kind of want to. How much oppression did you kind of face, either offline or online, during the process of this transition, and how did you overcome it? Really want to hit that home for the viewers kind of going through this.
Mm, pondering about that, thinking about it. I would say, yeah, there are moments where I would get a lot of it. Sometimes it would be for like stupid fucking reasons. Like some people think I'm a trans woman, and it's like either way, being harassed because I'm trans, I just had to understand like these niggas, they don't get it. That really is it. But it's also like people like if you're trans, you need to realize oftentimes, more than not, whenever someone's being transphobic to you, they're feeling that way, they're reacting that way because you're making them have to look within. And a lot of the time people don't want to
Right.
take accountability that like, oh fuck, there's a part of my life I could have been doing something different. You know, like these niggas don't like the fact that they have a choice. They don't like that.
Yes. Absolutely.
So really,
Absolutely.
it's like you can't take it personally, and I haven't because even though like these niggas hate on me hard, like they really do, I'm happy as fuck. There are people in my life who love me so deeply. It really is like you have to give that validation to yourself. You have to understand like you are enough. So then when people come, just start hating on you. It's like I don't give a fuck, nigga. I am all that and more. And then it's just like they're gonna keep being mad. You're gonna keep being happy. That's it.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I've been dating in that space for a while, and a lot of that hatred comes from they want to fuck you, but they can't because their family's Christian.
So that, yeah, fuck. I like to forget about the people that are like, I think you're so fucking sexy, but I hate that I think you're sexy, but I feel like I'm not allowed to think you're hot. I don't care. I don't care, nigga.
Well, that's the question right there for you folks. Is it gay if it's a femboy?
Is it gay? Oh,
Boy. So yeah, thanks for kind of answering that question. And just kind of, do you have any advice on just how to deal with the pressure for just the average person? Maybe somebody's living in a religious household. Maybe somebody's living where they're not necessarily going to be accepted. Hell, maybe they're coming out of high school and realizing this.
I feel like this sounds like really fucking depressing, but like for me, this is just like the honest to God truth. You have to be okay with like letting people be a fucking hater. Like, yeah, it sucks, but it really is like you can't do anything about it because like something like gender and deconstructing it, for some people it takes them fucking years for them to get over. It's like you have to accept it, know that it's gonna happen, and whatever emotions come up, deal with them, feel them, but like you can't let it like hold you the fuck down. You just have to keep pushing because it's gonna fucking happen. And sometimes, yeah, it's gonna fucking hurt, you know, being called the T slur and like so many other things, it's not fun. But you have to keep on fucking pushing because if you let them like kind of hold you the fuck down, you're giving them exactly what they wanted, and you're kind of sending the message that like them hating, it's doing something they want it to do.
Hey,
Like
right,
you really need
exactly.
that internal validation. Like you really need that internal validation.
You have to strengthen up that internal voice. Because at the end of the day, you're not hurting anyone.
You're
You're
not.
not. It's like half of the people saying this have hurt a lot of people in believing this.
Yeah,
And it's technically not Bible accurate. Does that seem biblically accurate to you? That doesn't seem biblically accurate to me. I don't know.
at
No.
all.
Hating people for no reason doesn't really seem accurate to me.
Love thy neighbor. I think, come on, they say everyone's your neighbor.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. And before we go on a groove break, I've had this question for a long time. I've been wanting to ask somebody. Do you think Dave Chappelle is funny? He doesn't really seem very funny to me.
You know, I think the fact that I had to ask myself, who is that? I think that might be answer enough because I forgot about him. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's either complaining about being canceled or making trans jokes. So I just I don't know. He's like still famous, so I thought I was maybe in the minority on that, or
I forget about that guy, man. I hear about it, it's like, okay, yeah, whatever, grandpa.
it's like okay, so yeah, I got burned because I kept poking at the fire. It was like okay, okay, that's comedy.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's enough.
If we laugh, he might leave us alone.
Well, with that. We are about halfway through my questions, so it's time for a groove break. When we come back, we're going to dive into Mister's relationship with the internet and the effect it had on his self discovery journey, as well as how his spirituality also helped him. Then we'll wrap up with his advice to those who feel as though they've completely lost themselves. It's going to be an impactful conversation that you don't want to miss. You're watching What's Going On with Dapper Don. Stay tuned. You're tuned in to What's Going On with Dapper Don. Don't touch that dial. And we're back! For those of you just tuning in, we just got through talking about Mr. Miss, or Zen as he's sometimes called, and his journey into discovering who he was. Now we're going to get into how his new identity shaped certain aspects of his life and vice versa. To begin this discussion, let's talk about The internet. Doom, doom, doom. So what drove you to start your social media presence?
I guess what if you never know what might happen. I saw people like blow up all the fucking time and it's like, I could be the next person that does. So I just kept posting.
Well, you was trying to be Kanye, wasn't you?
You know, I'm trying to be bigger than Kanye. Okay. I'm bigger than the program. Way bigger.
Listen, yet I don't know. I don't like Kanye now, but I don't know if you. I don't know, because
Kanye, it's like I don't know what the fuck is up with him. I just try not to think about him. That's it.
pretend he doesn't exist. Maybe he'll go away.
Yeah, maybe he'll like tone it down and he'll come back to his senses.
Okay, this is this is gonna be a bad take, but I do think the Nazi stuff is kind of funny. I'm not saying it's good.
It's
I'm saying it's funny.
ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. Oh, it's absolutely ridiculous because, but it's so funny because yo ass darker than me, and you sitting.
Like, bro, he wouldn't even be like a pick me black person. They'd be like, no, fuck you. Hard R. They don't like you. What are you doing?
They don't
What are
like
you
you.
doing?
They're going for Candace Owens. You're
Like,
left in the dust, buddy.
they're going for her. What makes you think you're safe?
It's like Candace Owens, light skin, and she's a woman. They that's two wins as opposed to your one win. They're
That's true.
going with the one with the most points. I don't know why people fall into that trap. Politics is such a trap, I swear.
It is. It really is. It goes down to like just the two choices. Girl, fuck that. Fuck
It's
that.
like people would have told me, "Oh, don't vote third party because you're throwing away your vote." I'm not voting for a piece of shit and then a slightly less evil piece of shit. I'm just not gonna vote for them.
Because it really is like it's a losing game. Like when you think about it, it really is just a losing game because them niggas, they're still like the systems you want broken down, they're gonna try to uphold them. So,
Right,
so
right. But speaking of systems, how did you amass almost 100,000 followers on TikTok? I mean, you're like a walking radio station. I mean, goodness. What do you think attracted people to your content?
I'm gonna be honest, I have no fucking clue. I have not an inkling of an idea. I think people just like the way I talk. I think that's like really the one thing I can say. I think these niggas like sorry, I don't know if I can say that, but
On this show?
yeah, I don't know.
Fuck, bitch, cunt, nigga, 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 nigga. You can say it. You can say it. It's my show. They
Thank
got a
God.
problem. They can fight me.
Thank you, nigga. Thank you, nigga. Thank you. Oh goodness.
What do you
Okay.
say?
But I think like my theory is the reason why people follow me is because they look at me first. And like, cause obviously I'm not a fucking liar. I know how good I look. I look fucking delicious. I think people they see that and they're like, "Oh wow, that nigga's real fine looking." They follow, but then they hear how I talk and how I speak, and they're like, "Damn, that's a little bit different." But then they stay because on top of me being so funny and so charming, I'm actually quite the intellect. But you would think that I'm not, but I actually am. I'm quite the smart pants.
So what you're saying is, because you said you were from Tex
Yes.
earlier during the break, you're saying that you're gonna trade in your cowboy hat for a top hat.
You know, you know, well, yes,
Yeah,
I can do it all.
really going for that them fancy clothes, disposing of them ops and coppers.
Well, yes, understand. Bigger than the program.
Absolutely, absolutely. And, were you afraid of anything when you first started posting?
Blowing up, which is ridiculous because that's like the entire reason I kept doing it. But like, I have quite the fear of success. Not gonna lie. I'm gonna be honest.
Wow. That
It's
sounds
no, go, sorry.
well, I was gonna say, that sounds like something that a 2005 motivational tape would say.
The fear of success. Okay.
A fear of success.
I'm afraid of winning too much. Constantly winning.
Look, that's a good line to put in a song if you haven't already. "I win so much it scares me."
Yeah, it really is because it's like, "Oh my god, what if it just like, what happens if I don't?" But then it's like, "Ugh, I just keep winning." But it's like, okay, it's like fear of success because, like, I don't know if I'm saying too much when I say this, but I've shown some of my friends, some of my crew, some of my songs and things like that, and each and every time, like, them niggas are like, "Zen, like, I genuinely don't understand why you're not posting." Like, I've heard some niggas that sound like balls, straight fucking code. And here you go, you're just not even posting the shit, and I actually want the file, I wanna save it, I wanna keep it, like, I wanna keep this shit on repeat, but it's like it's like people's eyes on me, that's crazy, and niggas, they wanna invade in your privacy. I don't like that.
Well, now, I do know that you have quite a few songs out right now, which we'll talk about later,
I
but
care.
how often do you find yourself coming up with songs and stuff and
I
posting
would
and putting
say okay, how often I make songs and how often I post them, very 2 different things, because I would say, like, every other month, I make, like, 3, 5 songs, but then, like, other months, like, it'll simply just be, like, the artist phase, and then when you're making the art, the phase where you need to experience so then you can make the art. How often I post? I would not say that often. I don't know why. Yes.
Will say you've definitely got the following to make some major business deals, but I'm not gonna you not gonna say anything, but this is where the people that we listened to growing up, this is the kind of stuff they started with to kind of grow. So I'm just saying, once you start posting more frequently, I expect to see it on YouTube. Uh,
Understand, it will already be that way. It's already made in the stars.
it's already happening, exactly.
There you go. There you go.
Let me ask you this. Did the internet help you come into yourself more, or did you still have to perform a version of yourself for the internet?
I would say I never really gave a fuck about what the internet took. I don't know. It really is like whenever it comes to what like how people might perceive me, how the internet, what I do for the internet, it really is like when I come online, what I want to give you, that's what you get. I give what I want to I don't really know. I just
Yeah. No, I get it. I get it. And I know a lot of us aspire to be to that point where we're just like people's thoughts just bounce right off. So I definitely get it. Now, I'm going to preface this next question by saying that the internet is the place of all time.
yes.
How did you deal with creeps and people who sought to fetishize your identity? And if you have any stories that you're comfortable telling, I'd be happy to hear those as well.
I just make sure I ignore them because, like, honestly, more oftentimes than not, I have many, many of creep freak niggas in my DMs being like, "Where are you, sexy? I wanna taste you." It like it get like quite the ridiculous DMs, and it's like I'm just whatever. Honestly, I've thought about turning them motherfuckers into my goons and just telling them like, you know what, send me 50. Not gonna give them anything, but it's like, give me money. I don't know.
Okay. So
Benefit from them. Use them niggas. I don't know.
so is this TikTok? Is this TikTok, or do you have a following on Grinder too?
I do not have a following on Grindr. This is really all just on TikTok.
Wow. Okay. I don't know how you can isn't this is what I don't get about creeps. It's like you go to a platform and you have one job. TikTok, you scroll until your mind is completely numbed and then you go to bed. What would prompt you to message somebody who is completely minding their own business
I'm
with some of the
saying,
worst shit humanly possible?
like, I would get it if I were like, "Hi guys, Zazen Moon. I will be in this area. I want to see men." I would understand that. But to my knowledge, I have not made a video like that. So it really is I'm just making videos and these niggas are like, "Where are you? Please. Where's your location? Are you in New York?"
And see, if I were you, and see, I'm a real spiteful nigga, but I also like making money. I would take those DMs and I would start doing them like those Reddit reading videos they do on TikTok or those DM reading
You
videos, and
know what? Yeah.
I mean, You can blur the faces, you can do whatever you want, but you might as well be making something off of those niggas.
Truly, because I have too fucking many. Too fucking many.
And I know they don't go away. And I just know that you get all those, hey, hey, what you doing? What you doing? What you doing? Oh my God. I just know you do.
Yeah, blank profile pics or like very unflattering selfies, like type of selfies you look at and you're like, I don't understand how you took that and you're like, this is going to be my profile pic. This is the thing that's gonna meet everyone.
Up here looking like Mitch McConnell.
Just so happy to look a mess. So happy.
Right. Right. Shit. Where was I?
Yeah.
Fuck. Okay. Do you believe the internet is a good place for someone fresh into transitioning? Now, this, I think, is something that would be
Mm.
valuable to hear your insight on.
As much as I would like to say no, because like there are some very mean, evil niggas, and I would know because when I first started my transition, I had quite the hard time. Honestly, I feel like the trans community when I was younger, the online presence, I think it made it harder for me to really explore and find myself. But now, fortunately, since there's niggas like me on the internet, I would say maybe it would help. I think it would. As long as they
Depending on the person.
Yes, it really is, like, it depends on, like, what creators they find, because like, there might be a trans person fresh out the fucking closet, then they watch someone like Blair White. Now you're fucked. Now you're gonna go through quite the battle because the first thing you consumed was, "You should only be trans if you're gonna do this, and if you do anything else, you're actually a sick piece of shit and you should die."
Um,
Like, yeah.
Yeah, okay. No, I definitely get where you're saying, and because it's like the internet has a whole bunch of opinions ranging from trans people hating other trans people, to non-trans people hating trans people, to trans people hating non-trans people.
Yeah.
It's so much of a variety that I get how it could overwhelm somebody fresh into this, because 'cause you're basically you're basically reborn, right? You're
Yeah.
like
Like, you're learning everything all over again.
right, you know? Except it's not stupid like how people get their legs lengthened
Yeah.
to be
I
taller.
would s I would say if 'cause it is very much it could be anything either or. If you're, like, freshly into your transition, I think it would really be, like, you need to understand, like, what are you doing? Are you thinking you need to be this because you're trying to put yourself in a role once again, or it's because that's simply just what you want to do? Okay, if something feels incorrect, if something's like, "Damn, I actually really don't wanna be that," then you don't have to be it. That's the amazing part about choice. Like,
Okay. I mean, honestly, that's pretty apt right there. And also, I mean, you also have those people who are only transitioning because they saw an anime character they liked and they wanted to be them. Do you think those people are very helpful for the transition journey?
I forget people can do that. I think that's I don't even know what realm that's in.
I mean, all reasons are valid, but I just kind of wanted to get your thoughts on that because that's been weighing on me for a while. I've been seeing it too much in the spaces I've been in.
I think I would take that in a way where they heavily projected onto a character and then that translated into, "Fuck, I actually wanna be this. So let me essentially be this character even though" I think that's what it is. Maybe?
I I hope that's what it is. I really do because call me crazy. I mean, anime a guy in a suit number 453 is an interesting character with how he kills every antagonist in his series, but I don't know if I'd want to be him. I don't know.
Someone then maybe that's their transition goal, you know? Yep.
If they can't beat Goku, it's not valid. No, I'm joking.
I'm saying, you gotta at least, like, make sure, like, the fighting abilities make sure, like, everything has to be fucking accurate, okay? Go big or go home, buddy.
Right. If you're not solar system level, we don't talk about you.
Yeah, okay.
But speaking of solar systems, I love these transitions. How would you describe what you believe in spiritually?
I guess the soul, the universe. I think technically we are all God. There is a God in all of us. We are the creator. I just feel like there are people in certain positions that want you to feel like you can't do anything with your life when it's like, girl, the fact that you are born, understand like all it takes is a little fucking seed, a thought. Understand and it can simply turn into something so beautiful.
Right. So the worship in that case should go to ourselves. We should be more self worshiping individuals, not in a bad way, but more like doing whatever we can to ensure our own success as well as those around us.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, it very much is. Cause like, one thing I've noticed too, and maybe, like, I've been the change I wanted to see, but, like, I see so many people talk so badly about themselves, and it's like, you are stuck with you for the rest of your fucking life, and the fact that, like, someone might hear that and be like, "Oh, I'm stuck with me," like, that itself should show you, like, you need to stop being so afraid to, like, be with yourself, love you, understand that. But it's also, like, it's just gonna be a losing battle the more you just fight praising yourself. Cause like, these niggas don't even realize you set yourself up for failure or for success depending on how worth it you think you are. So, like, truly, creation potential, it starts off with, like, how capable do you think you are? And why do you think, like, the sky's the limit for everyone else but you?
Exactly, exactly. And I would add that I don't know if I believe in manifestation the way it's taught. I don't think if you think hard enough, a Lamborghini is going to pull up in your front yard. But I do believe that what you put action towards ultimately increases the likelihood of that goal happening. So if you are someone who's just constantly dogging themselves, you're putting action to that, you're putting
Mm,
your spirit into that. You wonder why nothing but shit comes to you. Look at how you're talking about yourself. Look at what you're feeding into.
very
And
much
then
that.
the answer will come to you, honestly. And I know that you believe something similar because manifestation is taught in a whole bunch of different ways. People have tried to say that there's
Many.
quantum basis for it, and that if you think hard enough, you'll create just a liminal space, back rooms where everything you want comes true. And I don't know. How do you feel about that crap?
I feel okay. To an extent, I guess, like, I kind of believe in, like, very, like, detailed shit, whatever the fuck, because the way I view life, I think it is so magical. I think life itself is proof of magic because 'cause I'm a woke hippie
Mhm.
like that. But I think whenever I think about, like, manifestation, shit like that, I think it's actually so simple to where it's so easy to complicate it. That's how I view it. You know what I'm saying? Because what I think of it as, I think of it as, like, what's your frequency? What are you expecting? Okay? What is one thing, like, you really resonate with? Because, like, one thing people really don't understand with, like, manifesting, it's like, bitch, it is you, your spirit. Like, what the fuck do you feel? It's not gonna be one offhand comment you made one day. It is you, your spirit, your soul, and then, like, confidence, self-concept goes into, like, all that. It very much is like, it starts off with you, bitch. You.
Right.
You.
And I guess and there's some interesting studies on that as well. For example, how there are people who know they're going to die before they die and they start preparing and then they go out and they actually do pass away unfortunately, but
Mm.
they like start preparing. It's like they've just felt some kind of energy and it's very interesting how that works, how whatever frequency you're tuned to, you can almost like predict what's going to happen next.
I think it's made that way on purpose. I am very much like a big believer in, like, energy cannot be created or destroyed because, it cannot be. But it's also like, I think we don't give ourselves, like, enough credit how we feel energy. Life is all about fucking energy. You can feel that shit for for shirtsky. And it really is like, it's not, it's, I think you're supposed to feel it as just to welcome it in, because there are some things you cannot change. So it's like, how are you gonna, like, fight it off? Or are you gonna embrace it? And it could be good or bad, but either way, either or.
Right, right. Now, your belief system, what was the reaction from those around you when you sort of came realizations?
About, like, my spiritual views,
Yes, I know that some people react very strongly when they find that you don't believe in the typical stuff.
I keep my spirituality very to myself. Like, I talk about it online, but it's like, meet me in person. A lot of the time, I'm not really open about it. Like, if you ask me, I will answer. And you can probably, like, see that, like, I'm quite the huge fucking hippie and woke liberal like that, but I don't really talk about it for real.
And I guess I'd have to ask then, have you always believed these things or what drove you to come to believe this?
I think I have always believed in these things. 'Cause, like, I also set myself up for failure back when I was a kid, for, like, my entire fucking childhood, it was just, like, I felt shitty, and I got shitty things because I felt like I was a piece of shit, so I got piece of shit things because I was like, "I'm a piece of
Mm,
shit," and that was simply just a fact for me. It's like
I see.
I feel like I've always, like, kind of been manifesting things in my life 'cause, like, again, when I was a kid, everything that happened to me, it's like I knew that was gonna happen. I knew that friend was gonna do this. I knew this day was gonna go that way, and, like, the more I changed it very much, like, skewed in my favor.
A lot of black people, especially older ones, fall into some kind of conservative
Mm,
Abrahamic religious theology.
yeah.
And I mean, what do you have to say to anyone currently questioning this way of thinking?
I would say, like, there's nothing to be afraid of. I would say the only thing to be afraid of for real is, like, not exploring outwards, like, very much so. Because I feel like some religions, very much like the religions that are really pushed in your face, think about how it takes a lot of accountability away from you, but it also, like, takes away choice. And, like, all of that. Why do you want to live in a way where, like, everything is just, like, already made up for you? Like, that doesn't that, like, kinda suck? Where it's like, you're like, "Okay, you might be protected from, like, these bad things, but it's, like, also the good things you want, you're never gonna fucking get it because I guess you were made to live this fucking 9 to 5." Like, it doesn't need to be that way. You can do so
Right.
much, and oftentimes, like, prayer, especially, like, Christianity prayer, I think it's also, like, another form of manifestation because it really is. Your frequency, you're believing this is gonna fucking happen, and you simply just go on day to day to day like that, boom, sooner or later, it's gonna happen.
Right. And that would make your prayers sort of like the way it would be like it attunes you to the possibility of it rather than it going to some external god.
Yes.
Okay. That's honestly one of the better descriptions I've ever kind of heard of how that would work. And honestly, I mean, even just down to the way certain religions talk at you, like their way of comforting you is saying God ordains trials. It's like, bitch, I just got put out of my house and
Like
just got attacked by a dog. And I'm one of God's strongest soldiers. Why isn't he protecting me? The US
like, what the
military
fuck?
protects their soldiers.
He's like, "I don't feel the strongest. What the fuck, man? Let me
Right.
get up. Let me heal."
Kind of hard to be strong
Very
when I
fucking
got a
hard to be
chunk taken
strong.
out of my leg.
Kinda fucking hard to be strong. I can't even pay my bills. Like, what do you want from me?
Sitting up here, I'm supposed to give the homeless man $5,000 and I'm struggling to find one.
Like, I'm about to be the homeless man. Fuck, I
Right.
think I would have more luck.
And don't even get me started on churches with the God's mad at you, so you gotta pay me to come in and lecture you to save your
Church
soul.
No, that shit, like, I know, like, but I just like, I feel like that really is just like a cult. Sooner or later, it's like you feel like you have no choice. Like you feel like this man has like all this and that. Like he acts like a fucking toddler. The way like he's gonna punish you because you had the audacity to be you. Bitch, he knows you. And he knows, okay, one thing that really gets me is like, God, if you have no faith in that nigga, then the blame falls on him. He knows what would make you believe in him. He's just actively choosing not to fucking do it. See, that's ridiculous. No, I'm not gonna praise the God that's like, I know what would make you believe in me, but I don't want to do it. Okay, so fuck you. Yeah.
Right. You made women beautiful and made them decide to go into porn. You grew barley for beer. You grew marijuana for weed. What in your did you not think that this was just gonna kind of fall off the rails there? I don't
Like,
like the moment you grew that first marijuana bud, you should have known where humanity was headed from there. Not saying that marijuana drives people in always bad directions, but I'm just saying if that's supposed to be a temptation, then
then
you
like,
should
what the
know.
fuck?
Right, exactly. But, now I kinda wanna switch gears into something that may or may not play a role in how spiritual you are, or you may guide it with your spirituality, your
Yes.
music. So, when you started making music, were you expressing who you genuinely were, or were you kind of expressing the artist that you liked?
I would say I was expressing myself, the most I knew of myself at the time. Because for me, my art, like, I can't whenever I try to be someone else, suddenly, like, my pen doesn't fucking work. Creative block. You know what I'm saying? I would say, like, I've always just been me. Ghost
Gotcha.
Rider.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And how do you feel your style has evolved over time? I know you've released music in a variety of different styles. Do you feel like I don't want to say do you feel like you're improving because of course you are with time, you know.
Always.
Do you feel like you're kind of settling into a way of going about things with music that you actually enjoy?
I would say, yeah. I'm still very much like gonna like tap into other genres. Have I feel the want to do it? But with the last few songs that I've made, I definitely feel like I've kind of found like more of like my style of a song, and that has been rather fun. Very much, I want a signature look. I want a signature type of thing, and I feel like I did find that.
Okay. All right. And was music something you always saw yourself doing or did that come out of a certain moment of your life?
Something I've always seen myself doing. I vividly remember when I was like, what? I think 5, 6. I got on my mom's phone and I started to record voice memos of me singing. And I started singing something about like flying seals. And for years, my mom just like kept playing it around everyone. I was like, bro, it's a fucking flying seal song. Like, this is not a big deal. Please calm it down.
Just come at your mom like, "You got a little too much dip on your chip. Calm down."
Too much. You're letting these people in my business. Stop. But I've always
Yeah.
seen myself singing. I've always seen myself singing.
So, I suppose is it like with any other creative field where there's kind of a spark where you kinda have an idea that simmers for months and months and months on end, and then you just wake up like, "You know what? You know what? My laziness is not as high as it usually is. I'm gonna make it happen."
Like, with completing songs,
Yes, with starting from start to finish, kinda.
I would say no. My songs, they're usually not, like, months. It's usually, like, the day of I think of that song, I make it.
Okay, and what does that creative process look like from start to finish?
Um, Usually on YouTube. I don't make me own beats, unfortunately, not yet. Get on YouTube, find whatever beat, whatever really, like, hits me in my soul. I start thinking about it, and usually lyrics, they already come out. I get on BandLab, I record the vocals, go over it. That's really it. Usually takes like a couple of hours, but most of my songs that are really good to me, it only took like 5 hours at most to like really complete it.
Wait, and you're freestyling your lyrics. We're not just gonna gloss over that. You just go in and you just record something and you freestyle in these poems.
Well, okay, well, I wouldn't say freestyle. I would definitely not say freestyle because I think I might have not said I go on my notes app. I go on my notes app, I write
Okay.
the song, I like write the lyrics, then I go into the sometimes it is like that, but for the most part, I write it down, then I go. Okay. I don't want anyone to think that I be freestyling like that. I don't want anyone my biggest
Okay.
fear is someone being like, okay, Zen, freestyle for me today. Fuck no. I can't do that.
Well, even if you did freestyle, that's still a large ask.
Like I'm saying,
That's like, that's like somebody saying, "Tell me exactly what I did to make you so mad at me." It's just like, "I've known you for 10 years. You really want me to go off
like
like
what the
this?"
fuck, man?
Okay. And I noticed there's a certain rawness and an almost startling honesty, not necessarily pearl clutching unless you're like a nun, but it's very much shocking how honest you can be. Do you ever get self-conscious sharing that much of yourself?
No, but it's I think it really is because like I'm not aware of how people perceive me. I've realized these last few days I don't for real know how people view me. I don't realize like oftentimes I'm coming off as like very vulnerable, very honest cuz like I'm giving out things that's just cuz I the way I view it it's like I don't understand like why that's vulnerable of me. I'm just kind of being honest. That's really it.
Okay. So it's more of just something that you do, you put out, and it's just like brushing your teeth or something for you. It's more like just a clean.
Yeah, it really is, like, I don't think about it. I don't really understand, like, some things that I say, like, "That was vulnerable." You felt like that was very raw and honest of me. I'm looking at it like, I'm just saying what I wanna say.
Gotcha, gotcha. All right. Well, we're gonna head into the final round of questions here,
Well,
and it's gonna be about losing yourself. Right now, there are a lot of people listening who don't have a single idea of who they are. What's the first step do you recommend somebody taking to kinda get to the level of confidence that even you have?
sit in the uncomfortable feeling of everything. Because, like, I feel like one thing people don't really they're not really honest about, finding yourself when you really don't know where the fuck to start. It can feel very uncomfortable, very overwhelming because, like, there were many, many moments where, like, and keep in mind, like, I'm only this confident because, like, I've been on this journey ever since, like, fucking what? I think, like, ninth grade, because that's when I came out as trans, and I was like, "There's just no fucking point in, like, not finding myself, so I might as well just fucking do it." It was so scary, though, and it was very irritating, like, understand you're gonna have moments where you just fucking fall, where you realize, "Okay, this is another thing I'm doing because I want validation from other people." Like, you're gonna have moments where you feel like a fucking dumbass, but you just have to keep doing it. You have to keep doing it because sooner or later, you will find yourself. You will find yourself, but, like, you really have to also not give a shit. And I would honestly say I think it is easy. I think it is really easy as fuck when you prioritize yourself. That's why I feel like that's why people think it's so hard to, like, not give a shit, because you care too much about everyone else but yourself. Okay? People need to start looking at, like, themselves like they were somebody else. If someone were to basically be them, but, like, it's another fucking person they're talking to, they'd be like, "Oh my god, you should love yourself and do this." Like, who cares about what people think? Exactly, now do it to yourself. This is your life. You wanna be happy, like, fuck.
Yeah. I mean, that's powerful. Why do you think people sorta lose themselves besides, worrying about what others think? What do you think kinda makes somebody just completely is just lost in space when it comes to their own life?
I think it's also, like, accountability in a way, very much because again, it can be very overwhelming to realize, "Okay, I can be whatever the fuck," but it's realizing, like, you can be whoever the fuck, but it's also, like, you could be holding yourself back. And I really do think it's also, like, I've been holding myself back for how long? It might feel like a betrayal also, because like, I've gone through moments where, like, I realized, "Shit, I'm doing this." And like you said you want to be happy, you said you wanted this, and like the whole fucking time you're doing this dumbass shit. Like you say you love yourself, but like clearly you don't. It's like, no, I do because I'm recognizing this part about myself. To really
Right.
like love yourself and all that, you have to be very honest with yourself. That's another reason why I love myself so badly. I'm very honest. I know parts of me that are very ugly, but it's okay. We're human. Not every single part of us is going to be perfect and yummy delicious to look at. That's okay. That's fine. You're still worthy. You're still deserving of love at the end of the day, despite all your flaws, you know?
Right. So if I'm understanding you right, you're saying that a lot of it comes down to a fear of being accountable for what you've done to yourself in all the time that you've been alive. What you've done to
Yeah.
stifle yourself, what you've done to yourself to make yourself feel not good enough.
Yeah. But it's also like sometimes people realize the person they were because they were hiding from themselves might have been an asshole. You know, like then it goes right back into accountability. It's that fear of like, who the fuck have I been? All because I was too scared to be myself.
Man, that is a very deep point. And have there been points where even recently you felt like you were losing the plot as far as who you were recently, or has it kind of been mostly smooth? And if there were points where you kind of felt like, oh, I'm losing myself a little bit, how did you pull yourself back in?
I would say recently I've had quite the battle with because I'm low key a hypocrite. I'm very much a hypocrite. I'm very like open about like um my love for the trans community. It's like you're man enough, you're woman enough, you're whatever the fuck enough. But I often get on myself because I'm very comfortable within my femininity, and so I find myself forcing myself to like really be masculine because I'm like, well, I want people to think this of me. And it's like, stop giving a shit. Stop giving a shit. Like, I understand, like, this, because, like, even, like, because I love myself so badly, but I still find myself fucking up every now and again because sometimes I do kind of give a fuck a little bit, but I gotta remember, I'm that nigga. You don't need to give a fuck.
Right. Now, here's a question that I think would be good. Do you
Yeah.
think it's necessary to lose yourself and then find yourself in order to remain firmly rooted? Or do you think that if somebody is confident in themselves, that losing themselves is kind of where the bad is?
I would say, honestly, maybe. Maybe losing yourself, you really do have to. That's like a one way to really find yourself because for me, I'm only saying these things because I've gone through it, but I would say losing yourself definitely like helps you find yourself again because like during my moments where I just had ego death and fucking really didn't know who the shit I was, I I come back to like, okay, you know what? I am kind. I am this. I am that. Like honestly, I am a little bit naive and like whatever the fuck. Just like really coming back to myself, figuring out like, okay, these are simply just qualities that are mine. Let me be proud of them. If I can't do anything about it, I might as well just like fucking be okay with them. Or there's certain parts of me that's like that can be let go of. That's all right. That's fine. I think there's nothing wrong with losing yourself. I very much think it's beautiful. Building yourself right the fuck back up again. But it's also like the qualities that you thought you lost, you gained them back again. And it's like, okay, this is something I know for sure is mine. And it's not a part of me that I just kind of took on because I thought it'd make someone else happy.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Honestly, that's a great way to wrap this episode up. First, I do want to thank you for answering my questions as honestly as you have been.
Well,
I
yes.
really think I really think that having someone as genuine as you are on the show will really positively impact a lot of people. And even with your audience, a lot of them have probably never really seen you in this format where you're this raw. Even though you're very honest online, a 3-minute clip on TikTok is different from an hour-long interview.
Very different. Very.
But to wrap this up, do you have any final thoughts for our viewers before we send you away? Anything you want to plug, new projects, anything? This is your space.
Anything I want to plug? Fuck. I guess a little bit. Maybe Zen a ganga langa danga dang. I'm gonna be posting some music. Keep a watch out for that. But I really do just want to talk to my trans folks, but my black trans folks as well. Understand? Because I really wish I was told this when I was starting off into my transition journey, you don't have to choose your blackness or your transness. You can like have it all. You can have it all. Under fucking stand that. And like you can have it all and still like be so fucking different and alternative. Like I'm a black trans man that likes to still be a fucking punk and just everything like that. Do whatever the fuck you want. Be free, be you. Cause like at the end of the day, you go to yourself no matter the fuck what. You are the only one that is stuck with you for the rest of ever. Love yourself,
Exactly.
prioritize your happiness, like you are worth it. And I promise you, like you will get to a point where your pain, it will feel foreign because it's like, damn, I can't believe I'm out of that place now. It's gonna be a one day, like make it a one day. Be yourself, be you, be out there, like yes.
Yep. There is gonna come a day where you look back and you're just like, "Why did I ever believe that about myself? Why did I ever believe this about the world? How could I have believed this about the world?" So, just hang in there and understand too that if you are somebody who values their blackness and transness, one of the greatest tricks the slave master ever played on the black man was getting him to hate himself. So,
Talk your shit.
absolutely. Absolutely. So, anywho, that is all for today's show. If you like this episode, don't forget to like and subscribe. Mine and Zen's socials will be linked in the description, as well as who helped put this episode together. Follow us everywhere so you don't miss a beat, and tune in next Sunday at 6:30 p.m. for an all-new What's Going On with Dapper Don. You don't want to miss what I have in store. Peace out.
Peace, gang.